guys vertical right now? What the heck? I do not like these YouTube lives. To be honest with you, I don't even know if you're facing the right way. Supposedly we can do horizontals on YouTube now, but the way this is showing me, we are not horizontal. Maybe you're up right now. Again, not a fan of the YouTube lives. But here we are. We got to be the cool people, right? We got to do the YouTube lives. I had a couple minutes to hop on. I left work a little bit early to help with the kids, but now the kids are doing the kids things, and I have a couple minutes before the next kid comes home to give you a little update on the Burnout Beater. Last night's video just dropped. If you haven't seen that, make sure you go check that out. We did the steering. So now we have steering on the Crown Vic swap on the Durango. Okay, for the ones that haven't seen the video, and maybe the one viewer that's on the live right now, here you go. Yeah, the key's in the lock position. You guys see that? That is a huge accomplishment. I was kind of scared about the whole angle of the drive, not the drive shaft, the steering shaft to the rack and pinion on the Crown Vic. But I've been spraying it with PV Blaster, which I don't have it to show you because I just did the garbage and I just threw it away because I used it all on the universal joint, on the factory universal joint, on the Durango. So things are looking promising. We also put the sway bar in. So pretty excited about that. Got the sway bar. And I'm just going to start videoing for next week. So if you guys are watching now or when this post after the live, we get a little sneak peek because we got a hose. Wait. Just realized it said fuel hose. This is for the power steering. This adapter is a must-have though, and that will be on next week's video, hopefully. And yeah, this is for the rack and pinion if you're doing the Crown Vic swap. I haven't even opened the box, so power steering fittings for forward focus. Okay, don't even know if that's right. Anyways, back to the updates on the Durango. The things we have done, because obviously I don't know if this stuff's gonna work, is we rerouted the wires. So for now, we just jerry-rigged the fuse box on this side with zip ties, and reroute. We had to reroute the wire, the cable to the alternator because it wasn't long enough. So we went to O'Reilly's. I just posted a short the other day on us doing that. That's why there's nice shiny cable here going to the alternator, because the factory one wasn't long enough because the fuse box sat right here on the inner fender. But we're not going to throw the inner fenders back on. And we just zip tied this fuse box, and we zip tied the piece, or not the PC, the computer on the other side. Because if you don't know, this is going to be a Willys pickup in the near future. So I'm not going to do too much body work or get too crazy on the mounts to mount all this stuff, because it's probably going to all change when we do the body swap. So that's a little update on that. We do have some wiring left to do. This is the headlight for the headlight assemblies, and that ran through the front of the Durango, which I'm going to tuck in the back on the firewall. And then I'm just going to run some longer wires to some new headlights, which hopefully those parts show up before next week's video too, because I wanted to do the power steering or fuel hose on the rack and pinion and mount some headlights on here for funsies, really, because this isn't going to be a street machine anytime soon. It is going to still be our burnout vehicle, and hopefully we're just in the right direction of making this a rat rod burnout vehicle in the future. So that's a quick update on the Burnout, Beater, Durango, Cart, Crown Vic, Swap. It's got a lot of names now. Let me see if anyone's on here. Nope, currently nobody. Which I didn't expect anyone to hop on. This was super spontaneous to just throw a live together for you guys quick while I had a couple minutes. So we're gonna wrap this up hopefully this week, and this Durango is out of here, and then we can start working on one of our Jeeps. I want to work on the XJ, the Cherokee, but that's my daily driver. So if I pull that in the garage and throw it up on jack stands and start working on it and adding all the goodies, I don't have a daily driver. So I'm going to go back to my last year's winter beater, which is my, I don't even know what year it is, 97 ZJ. That has a leaky fuel tank, a leaky radiator, and leaky exhaust. I guess it's the leaker. So we're gonna pull that in the garage next. That's gonna be our next project after the Durango leaves the garage, and we gotta start addressing some of those leaks so I can have a daily, and then we can start adding all the cool parts on our little XJ. So that's a little update what we got going on in the Mac garage, and I better get to work, because I don't know if you're like me, but I don't like to have a project in the garage too long, because I kind of lose self-motivation, and I like to drive them too, so I don't like this sitting in the garage not being able to drive. So us just installing the steering and doing the brakes the previous week, 2 videos that if you haven't seen, make sure you go check out. But that was a huge step in the next direction. So those projects, those part of the projects are really motivating, because I know I'm one more step closer to making it a driver. So pretty stoked. Hopefully my fuel hose works for the power steering. And actually the power steering isn't actually a showstopper right now. I could actually just throw the wheels on, which you saw before when we did the brakes. We were able to do a killer burnout in the garage. So that's pretty rad that it's not a showstopper. So let's say this idea doesn't work for me and I have to move on and just kick this Durango out of the garage for now. That's probably going to happen. So I appreciate you guys that are going to watch this in the future, because no one is on. So peace out.